Yo, what's going on, internet world? It's your boy Uche with another video. Let's talk about the Met Gala and this whole celebrity cancel block party going on in 2024. And I know I'm very late to this, but I've had a lot of things going on. But I wanted to come out here and talk about this. First of all, I'm actually quite impressed that people are finally starting to wake up from what I've been talking about for such a long time. Like, usually when I talk about these things, they call me a hater, okay? I remember back in 2019, I talked about this on YouTube, how worshiping celebrities is actually to our own detriment, okay? Because a lot of these celebrities are actually capitalizing off of people's emptiness. If you knew how they are getting rich off of your emptiness, off of your mediocrity, you should be suing them as opposed to worshiping them. And, fast forward to 2024, I guess it took that long for people to start realizing what I've been talking about. Like I did a really good job breaking it down on YouTube. But I'm glad people are finally starting to wake up from the slumber, and checking celebrities. But, I'm veer deep, so I'm going to try to explain it to you, okay? There's nothing wrong with being a celebrity. There's nothing wrong with, being famous, It's understandable. It follows a particular mathematics. To be famous basically means that you have the audacity to do something a lot of people don't have the audacity to do. In a world where people are too afraid to be, you're not afraid to be. And by you just being yourself and creating as God has brought you into this world, you just become famous. People are more likely to recognize you. And this is just the way it is. In every situation, in every society, you will always have the haves and you always have the have nots. You have the people in every situation that are taller, people who are shorter, people who are richer, people who are, poorer. It's just the way it is. But people who have should not be put on a pedestal just simply because they have more than others. It is very important to understand that when people create, you respect what they create. You appreciate them for what they create. Just like the Bible said, right? Let your light so shine before men that they may glorify your Father in heaven. Okay? When you create, that is your light shining into the world. You're bringing that light from heaven into the world. So a person who's creating because of their music, their voice, because of their singing, because of their writability, because of their intellect, because of their, whatever it is that they're inventing, it should incentivize you to glorify God, the creator. But the problem is that we live in a world that is so dead in spirit that people forget about God that is created through those vessels, those human beings, and people are now worshiping the celebrities. And that is a problem. When you worship a celebrity, you put that person on a pedestal. You should never put someone on a pedestal because the higher a pedestal you put somebody, the harsher the fall will be when that person falls. Just like the Bible said, pride comes before fall. So you're actually hurting the celebrity by gassing them up and worshiping them. You're idolizing them. And as a result, when you put someone on a pedestal feeding their ego, of course they're going to act like their shit don't stink. And this is what you get with a lot of these celebrities and these fan bases. You have a bunch of low IQ fans who are worshiping these celebrities. You gas them up, you put them on a high pedestal, and consequently they act like their shit don't stink. They act like they are better than you. This is why they talk down on their fans like they do. You see a lot of times celebrities going back and forth with their fans, like what's going on with Cardi B right now. She's cussing out her fans, talking about how she's not releasing an album anytime soon. Again, because these fans put these human beings who are just vessels of God, right, on a pedestal, and as a result, they just are out of touch with reality. So instead of putting these celebrities on a pedestal and worshiping them for what they do, we need to learn to appreciate what they do because it's not easy. Let's just be honest. It's not easy. Whether it's a rapper, singer, writer, whatever the situation, acting, it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be rapping. Everybody would be acting. It's not. You appreciate them for what they're doing because, again, every time these people create, they are bringing heaven to us. This world, there's a lot going on in this world, and we need entertainment. When Nicki Minaj raps, you appreciate it. Cardi B raps, you appreciate it. Angelina Jolie acts, you appreciate it, and things like that. That's their talent. Appreciate them for what they bring to the table, but don't worship them. All glory goes to the creator that is going through them, period. That's it. When you put them on a pedestal, you create more divide between them and you. You feed their ego and consequently they shit on you. When ideally, celebrities should actually be humble. They should be humble and appreciative of the fact that we live in a world where all of us, we all have purposes in life. We all have creating abilities, right? However, the word has given them the opportunity for them to create. And the word has also made it possible for them to be able to make money and make a living out of their creation. Something that a lot of people wish they could do. There's a lot of people who can sing, but they're stuck working a job that they don't like because they need to survive. There's a lot of people who can act, but they don't have the opportunity. No one gives them a shot. So the fact that you live in a world that likes you gives you the opportunity for you to showcase your talents to the point that you're able to make a living out of it. That is privilege, and that's something that you should be humble and appreciative of. But when you put these celebrities on a pedestal, they miss that point. They feel like it's their right to the point that they shit on you. They disrespect you without being humble enough to understand that without you, they are nobodies. Same thing is also applicable with me as well. Again, shout out to all the people who love me for who I am on camera and off camera. I've always been myself 100%. The same way I talk online is the exact same way I talk offline. And there's a lot of people who complain about the way I talk. They can all kick rocks. But all the people who appreciate me for who I am, I really do appreciate them back. But it's also applicable to me as well. By me creating, I am creating. I am God's vessel. Okay, all glory goes to God. You shouldn't put me on a pedestal either. I usually block folks. Okay, when I notice the compliments are getting too complimenting. Okay, because usually it's very narcissistic. I know you're trying to gas me up. I usually block you or just pay you dust. Okay, appreciate me for what I do. Appreciate my authenticity. Appreciate the fact that I am an individual occupying space who has been meticulously designed and brought into this world to occupy a space that no one else can occupy. I appreciate that, and vice versa. But you shouldn't worship me. Worshiping me is idolatry. You're worshiping an idol. You're making me an idol. And consequently, you are hurting me. You're harming me. And you harming me, I harm you back too by acting like I'm better than you. Again, these things follow a particular mathematical system, equation, whatever you want to call it. Speaking about the Met Gala, I've talked about this so many times. I believe that a lot of these Western standard of beauty is just mediocre as hell. Okay, I don't even know what the Met Gala is. I have no idea. I think it's something that has to do with fashion. I can't keep up with these things. Met Gala, Oscar, what's the other one? VMAs and VMEs and the Emmys and EBTs, and I don't even know. These sense of fashions are, in my opinion, just mediocre, at best. And also, a lot of these celebrities are also quite mediocre. That's another thing too. A lot of folks put these celebrities on such a high pedestal to the point that there's so much pressure on these celebrities. Like they're no longer creating from their soul. A lot of them, they want to maintain that high pedestal that you've put them on. So it's all about the, being sexy. It's all about being, the most dripped, the Louis Vuitton and whatever the situation is. They're no longer creating from their soul. They're just trying to please you because of the idol that you've made them. As a result, people just make a bunch of nobodies, a bunch of mediocre ass nobodies, celebrities. They put these people on a pedestal. Why? Because they're yellow, because they're light skinned, because they got a big this and big that. You're harming those people. So I'm really glad that people are waking up from the slumber. I'm really glad. Again, I've been talking about this for such a long time. And they try, you know how it is, man. I speak truth, and people try to come for me, Chad. Go drag somebody else. Go play with somebody else. But I've been speaking truth. Stop worshiping these celebrities. They're nothing but human beings just like you and I. You put somebody on a pedestal, you're hurting that person, and subsequently hurting yourself because you're creating more divide and feeding their ego. Pride comes before a fall. The higher of a pedestal you put somebody, the harsher the fall will be when that falls. It follows a particular mathematics. When you put someone on a pedestal, they will inevitably fall. That's why the Bible says pride comes before a fall. It's interesting. I got pride on here. But this is a different type of pride, Chad. But anyway, stop worshiping the celebrities. I'm glad people are waking up from the slumber. Let me know what y'all think. Uche, peace and love.